Okay, I'm live. Okay, so let me just see if people can hear me. Testing test.
I can hear you.
All right. So sorry sorry for this weird take. Welcome to Masturbating Podcast, where this is like the host, yours truly, Masturbator, and my friend Critical Geek. Welcome
What
to the
up?
show, Critical Geek. This is like the very first edition of the podcast. And so, what do you want to Oh my god, this is a bad take. I'll do it again. Welcome to Masturbating Podcast, where myself, the host, Masturbator, is going to talk about and decaffeinate coffee beans. And joining me in this decaffeination process is Critical Geek.
How y'all doing today?
So, Critical Geek, what
hmm
are we? So, who is Coffee Bean?
Well, Coffee Bean is a very strange individual that is completely obsessed with OCs. He's also kind of a hypocrite if you actually look at it in my best perspective, because he's saying that, for individuals in the anime community that like Kale and Khalifa are, pedophiles, I guess. But, how is that even possible? Because these so called characters are adults. But yet he gets
True.
so completely upset when people make fun of his OC. Huh, hypocritical.
Well, that's the thing. Because so before I even discuss about this individual, let me explain. I mean, we did a stream. I mean, if anyone who watches World Stream, and that's like a very few people, I guess, anyone who watches World Stream who, who have watched it would know that we had a lot of issues with Coffee Bean, but a lot of them were centered around the Zack Snyder take, and we discussed some little nuggets here and there. But the whole issue is this man, not a man, sorry, Coffee Bean likes to be referred as a girl, or screw it. This individual would throw stones at other people while he himself is made of glass. And there's like a whole new example. Like for example, you can look at kiwi farms, look at the Dragon Ball community. You will see mentions of Coffee Bean, and once Coffee Bean finally, and this is like some individual who would like say a lot of crap about other people. But once someone decided to respond to him and gave attention to him and his idiotic rants, and once he finally was aware of it, he had a panic attack. And I don't want to make light of the panic attacks simply because, you know, it's not, how do I call it? Like, it's nothing to be taken lightly. Some people do have like that. Some of my friends were having a panic attack, but a panic attack over what? Firstly, with the whole perfection shit, because his OC was stolen. So, and this is the same individual who was calling perfection a pedophile. He was calling perfection a pedophile and transphobic and whatever name in the book. Once perfection stole his OC, Coffee Bean was having a panic attack over his stolen OC that he still could use. Such a trivial thing. And I don't think it's even a panic attack. I'm sorry. Ask Coffee Bean how a panic attack was. I'm pretty sure when you're having a panic attack, you won't be typing on Discord.
No, you won't be. And it really sucks because, with panic attacks, you don't even know when they're actually going to be occurring. It can happen like any time. So I do
Yeah,
believe he is faking that.
he is faking that. Now, I will not go too deep into his personal life, but there is an issue for me when some individual, even though, like, look, no matter how much you hate your father, some people, like, and he needs to understand a lot of people are online people. They're never going to help him when it really counts because they don't really know the guy. I mean, me and Critical Geek are friends, but do I know Critical Geek as much of as people he interacts with on a daily basis do? No, because I'm at the end of the day, I'm an online individual who comes online and chats with Geek online. Whatever Critical Geek does outside of Discord is something I don't even know. I'm not even aware of, and it's none of my concern. Because there's like a line between online friends and close friends. Close friends not really are never really online, and they would know everything there is to know about that individual. But not to go off on a tangent, what the point I'm making is when you insult your own father around online people, when you insult your own father around online people, it really rubs me off the wrong way because you really asking for sympathy, and that's what it is. And I think it's a bit of a not. I will not say disgusting. It's a very annoying thing because none of these. It's none of these people's business, and you're openly talking shit about your father. But again, I will not go too deep. But it's like it. He has this tendency. If I knew how to fucking, oh fuck, I said if I knew how to screen share because this is like I said, this is like the first time I'm using the stream. This is the first time I'm streaming at all, and this is like my first time using StreamYard, and I don't see a screen share option. I think there's one on the laptop. I'm using a phone. But Geek, do you want to say something?
Well, mostly with like what Coffee Bean likes to do, he also does like to play, victim and use his disability for it. And I honestly think that's a cowardly move to make. And clearly, to be perfectly honest, yeah,
Hmm.
maybe Coffee Bean does have a lot of problems, but I don't think his, so-called, being artistic is that much of a real big deal, especially when this individual can drive. So I think he's just doing it for sympathy and stuff like that. And to be perfectly honest, it's just like if you want to be a better content creator and be a better individual, then stop lying and don't like do that type of stuff that you're gonna get roasted on. And clearly, this is how I really see it, dude. In my best perspective, you can't go around calling people a pedophile that like Dragon Ball Super female characters Kale and Khalifa that are adults. And then you get so angry that people are rashing on your stupid, pathetic OCs. And I know you don't want to hear that.
Hmm. That's true. Well, like the thing is, the main issue is, and like, look, Coffee Bean. I don't know if I can speak about him while being calm, but here's the thing, Coffee Bean. There's one issue I take in is like you. I have a lot of issues with you, obviously, but and it you cannot even say it's really much of an issue, but I'll address it just to bring up a certain point. You take an, as Critical Geek said, you take an issue if Goku ship cauliflower. Now understand, it's hentai. Go. I don't know how many people or women Goku gets shipped with. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of shipping between Goku and Bulma, or Launch, or Kale, or cauliflower. Hell, there's I've seen some hentai of Zangia. So she was in the BoJack Unbound movie. The thing is, Coffee Bean. Here's another one on Vados. You cannot really like. Firstly, there's no such thing as better porn and shit. You, as Critical Geek said, we are not like Critical Geek said. Cauliflower and Kale are not really kids. We don't have a confirmed age yet. They've never said their age, and the timeline in Dragon Ball is kind of confusing. You don't know when they say age 780 because that's around the time Cauliflower was born. Around that time, you really have no idea if when she was born. Like you get me. Like for example, if I said I was born around 2000, you would get a if you do some maths, you would probably get the good idea of what my age could be. And if like Critical Geek is born in the 1980s, you would know he's like he's an adult. He's around like 30s or something. But that's the point I was making. Dragon Ball has a weird ear thing where they say age 780 and you don't know what's going on. Not to go off on a tangent. Simply put, we are not yet we don't really know what is Cauliflower's age. We don't really know what is Kaba's age. Kaba is calling Vegeta his master. Cauliflower is calling Goku an old man, but Goku's like really old. He's a grandpa. I mean, he looks young, but he's a grandpa. So, are we just because Cauliflower called Goku an old man, you can really like judge your entire? Is this like all the legitimate proof you need to call Cauliflower an underage girl? But that's one issue. The second issue is you're the same individual who was shipping Cell Saga Gohan and Dende, who were obviously kids.
Yep,
Gohan
that is
was around
true.
12. Yeah, Gohan was around at like 12 years of age at that point. Dende is somewhere around his age, even though he grows a lot older, I guess. So, are you really in a position to call anyone who ships Goku and Cauliflower disgusting or pedophilic? I mean, take a look in the mirror. And that's another great theme about this individual. Like I said, if I can screen share all of this, I would. But I don't know how to do it. I think it's like a laptop thing or a computer thing. But before I do, welcome Mentallic to Masturbating Podcast.
Thank you.
I'm live right now.
All right.
And we were talking about coffee beans, hypocritical and judgmental look on people who ship Cauliflower and Goku. Do you want to add something?
Wait. You ship Khalifa and Goku.
Yeah,
Isn't
coffee
this the same
bean
guy that
says,
shipped Vegeta and Goku? Or Gohan
yeah.
and Dende?
Yeah, it is.
So what's the problem here with people shipping Khalifa and Goku? Is this the same guy that said in one video that he doesn't mind gay characters but black Dragon Ball?
Correct. That is correct. Yes.
But you, oh god. Uh, okay, what did he say about Khalifa and Goku?
Anyone who ships Goku and Cauliflower are disgusting, and Cauliflower is an underage girl. And I think his proof is that she calls Goku an old man, but Goku is really, in fact, an old man, even if he doesn't look like it. He's a grandpa.
Pretty much. I mean, he just aged slowly because he's a Saiyan.
He's only 40 years old.
Exactly.
Here's, here's another thing, and I can like use this to further establish this fact. Goku, when he was a teenager, pretty much had no significant differences between how Goku looks like an adult. Goku as a teenager looked very similar to Goku as an adult. So what? So should we like not like
Also,
hmm?
also, also, people who are older would. Okay, how do I put this? Okay, if he's talking about because of of Bardock's statement on Fighter Z when he called Kefla a kid.
Hmm.
Okay, Bardock is like old.
He's even like Goku's father, yeah.
Yeah, of course he's gonna call them a kid. Of course he's gonna look. A lot of people when they're old, when they're 10 or so years older than someone, they will call them a kid.
Yeah.
I
But
mean, like it's
that's like
not done.
Coffee Bean is wrong in so many levels, and like we spent a lot of time just talking about this. But this goes
But
to
but
show
but but since he wants to say that people that ship those two are discussed, that ship people that ship those two are disgusting,
that is the thing. And like we spent like 15 minutes on this,
Kids
but
together.
we spent like 15 minutes in this, but that goes to show just how many levels, like just how wrong he is on so many levels, and
I'm
that
sorry. I'm sorry.
and we haven't even started yet.
Wait. I Kepler is about 18 or 19. I mean, Khalifa is about 18 or 19. It's
Hmm.
Yeah, pretty much.
not really. I mean, like this. So I really don't see a big deal of it. Fuck it. But this hypocrite. But so let me get this straight.
Hmm.
It's okay. So let me get this straight. It's okay for you to Oh my gosh. It's okay for you to put. It's okay for you to put two minors in a fucking relationship
Doesn't make any
and
sense.
a sex.
Yeah,
I can't. I can't. I can't.
I know, and
I th-
that's the
I
thing.
think I think you know what I think it is. I think it is.
Hmm.
He's not okay with something unless it's gay.
Which is bringing me to another thing, because Coffee Bean
Uh,
is, I should call him a social justice warrior, but that I really hate that word. But so basically, to update you guys on the thing, Coffee Bean really likes to ship a lot of gay people together.
Yep.
Said the aforementioned Gohan and Dende being an example, despite them being gay. The second example, and you can find
let
it
me
on
see if
his
I can find.
Twitter, he tweeted it. He was
Let me see if I can
shipping
find that.
and
Let me see
Vegito,
if I can find it. Let me see if I can find a
making up the
comment that I. Let me see if I can find a comment that I left on one of his videos on my other phone. Because oh my gosh,
I
I'm
mean,
sick of this.
mostly when you do ship those two, characters together, and those are children, regardless whether or not it's just like anime of characters. I mean, a dude. Why are you thinking about that in the first place? That is pedophilia in my book,
Look,
because
yeah.
clearly
look,
you're thinking of two children banging each other. Come on,
look,
dude. No.
look, look. If I like, I don't do shipping, but if I do, like, I don't really do shipping, or if I
Yeah.
do, I don't take it seriously. But I have a rule against shipping kids.
So do I, man. I mean, like, dude, I don't know. Like, I get it. If you're gay, whatever, do your thing, bro. But automatically putting two children in there and just saying that, oh, it'd be amazing if Dente and Gohan actually had a real relationship when they were young individuals, so little kids. Dude, are you kidding me? And then you
And
get, come on.
this brings
Oh
me
yeah.
to his response to that.
Speaking of looking over, right?
Hear
Speaking
me?
of looking
Hello?
over, right?
Yeah, I can hear you,
Yep.
masturbator.
Hey, masturbate. Speaking of looking younger and older, right?
Yeah. So
Remember when
I
the
was,
jail was first introduced?
well. So, anyways, I was going to say, Coffee Bean responded to that a bunch of people by saying that, it's my, what do you call that? Uh, Head canon? Yeah, that's what it's called, head canon, where it's not really canon, it's just something you made believe, kind of thing, where you think it's real when it's actually not. But the issue is, those people who draw those hentais of Goku and Cauliflower,
That's
they don't
their
really
head canon.
think
You can't go with
their head.
that's their head canon.
It's not even their head canon. It's just them doing drawing shit, and
Yep.
that's what I'm like bringing attention to. If you're going to If your response to this is, oh, it's my headcanon, and you can make up whatever you mind in your weird mind of yours, then those people also have a right to draw or ship whoever they want to. At the end of the day, Caulifla is not like everyone here knows. Caulifla and Goku are never going to be together because Goku is already married to Chi Chi. So your issue is you seem to think that your whatever you like is superior than to what other people like. Now this brings me to another thing about you. You're the same individual, and oh, this is like topic number two. And let's not discuss the hentai thing because we've already spent 20 minutes on it. But the biggest issue with like not the biggest issue, you seem to think whatever you think, right? Whatever you believe is actually fact, and anyone who thinks differently from you is not because if they think a little bit differently from you, like for example, people not liking Ray, people shipping Goku and Cauliflower, people not liking Zack Snyder's Batman. You seem to think these people are
Yeah.
just idiots when it's not really true. And your opinion is
Also,
like
also, I gotta say
baseless.
this. So, also, I gotta say this. If you're gonna have the balls to if you're gonna have the balls to dogpile someone for their fucking opinion, and then bitch when your opinion gets questioned.
Yeah. Don't throw stones when you yourself are made of glass. You were saying a lot of crap on Twitter and probably on your little YouTube channel. But once perfection, you were calling perfection a pedophile. May I remind you, you were calling perfection a pedophile for this and that reason. And once perfection stole your OC, right? Just stealing your OC, you had a panic attack. You decided to quit from this drama and stop helping Vogue and Brandon in their stuff. So when you think about it, and I'm not really going to side with perfection here, as much as the thumbnail would suggest otherwise, as much as we are not as as much as the fact that we are not crapping on perfection would suggest otherwise, we are not really on perfection side either. Perfection's an idiot. Nobody likes this guy, and he's not even in any of our servers. I will not talk to this individual at all. But my point is,
But the problem is,
and get it, perfection just spoke. You were throwing a lot of stones at perfection. You were throwing a lot of jabs at perfection, a lot of elbows and kicks and whatever. Perfection poked at you, and you quit. You ran away, all because your OC was stolen.
and I'm sorry, but anybody that takes anything perfection says seriously, I'm sorry. That's that's hilarious. The guys, the guys about as consistent as super.
But the okay, so let's get to his superior pawn because he acts like his pawn is
Huh?
good, right? So,
Yeah.
and I kind of feel like we're having this pawn war and hentai war with each other. I don't really look at hentai. I just want to
Mm.
make this. I actually look at
That's,
real people, screwing real people. But that's me, and not
Mm.
it's not anyone's case. But Coffee Bean, you're the same guy who took an issue with Goku and Cauliflower having sex and whatever they're doing. But you are shipping Vegito and Vegito together. I don't even want to call it. I don't want even want to call it gay. I don't even want to call it incest. You're basically asking for these people to screw themselves. We're being family friendly here, but to use a little bit of profanity, you want, even though you know what, I don't think I should probably think of what I say because I said shit before. But Basically, you want Goku and Vegeta fusion to to fuck himself because Super Saiyan 4 Vegito and Super Saiyan Blue Vegito are screwing each other, so they're screwing themselves. I don't even know what to call it. But is this your so-called superior form? Oh, because it's gay, right? So it's all right, even though they're just
They're
screwing themselves.
basically whacking
I
themselves.
mean,
A
to be
masturbator.
perfectly honest with that,
Masturbator. They're basically
and
whacking themselves off. That's it.
yeah,
They're
to be
whacking themselves
perfectly
off.
honest, I'm going to be real with it right now. That would never be in Dragon Ball at all. Not even a question about it. Akira Toriyama would not allow that. So all this time he needs to, be like, hey, you're an insult if you don't like this or whatever. Well, I got news for you, bro. Like, no real Dragon Ball fan likes that shit.
And Goku and Vegeta, like this is like something he said, and it's like a joke thing, and I get the joke. But this is like Goku and Vegeta having hardcore sex. This is like when one thing with like someone, and to give you context, people. So there was like a thing where people were asking for Budokai Tenkaichi 3's remake, and they said, what new feature you want to add?" Coffee Bean responded by Goku and Vegeta having hardcore sex, and it's like out of all the things, they would not have Vegeta fucking Bulma, they would not have Goku fucking Chi Chi. This individual wants an exclusive feature of Goku and Vegeta having hardcore sex.
Yeah, that wouldn't be allowed in those type of video games at all, less in the Dragon Ball universe, because Dragon Ball is for children and older teens. So he can keep fantasizing it all he wants to. It's never gonna happen.
And that's all right. Look, Coffee Bean, I know you were joking. So
No, he was.
here's a joke for here's a joke from me. You want little Billies and little Lilies to see Goku and Vegeta fucking each other. And since you know a lot of Budokai Tenkaichi 3 players are mostly teenagers or kids, some of them were adults, but that's a minority. It's it's mostly geared towards kids. But to your biggest issue yet, since we were mentioning kiwi farm and stuff, so I saw a couple of your videos, not really your video. Someone posted a clip of your video actually. You were and Critical Geek brought this to attention during the start of the stream. As soon as shit gets to you, and no, this is not a family stream anymore. As soon as stuff gets to you, as soon as people fire back at you, your response is, "Oh, they're attacking me for my autism, and they're attacking an autistic person, and they want to make fun of fat jokes." Coffee Bean, nobody really cares if you what kind of mental disability you have. You say a lot of stuff for someone who really doesn't have a huge brain. As soon as people get to you, you want to hide behind your speech, not speech impediment. I kind of confuse him with both. You want to,
Artistic.
yeah, autism.
Hey, hey,
Yeah.
You,
hey,
you're,
Can I say this?
yeah, sure,
Can I say this? This
yeah,
is to
okay.
anybody that think that they're. This is to anybody that think that their disability that their disability is a shield from criticism.
Hmm.
No, no, you just looks. No. It's just infuriating. Like here's the thing. When you think of that thing as a shield, it's more infuriating than helping. It's more like infuriating to the other person than it is helping you.
Yeah, to basically what you're saying, Mentalic, is if someone gets clowned on and they hide
Yeah.
behind a mental illness, they deserve to get clowned on more. especially that person in
Yeah.
question, especially that person in question has no forms of attacking other people. And that's what I want to. That's another thing. I've said this before and I'll say it
Yeah.
again. See, if you made of glass, you shouldn't throw
Yeah.
stones at other people. Because once people throw stones at you back, you'll break. You will completely shatter.
Like if you can't take what you can't dish out, then don't dish it out.
Geek, do you want to say something in relation to that?
Yeah, that's possibly 100% correct about all what you said. He uses his disability as a shield, and you shouldn't be doing that at all. This is coming from somebody which I have a learning disability. I never use that as a weapon or anything like that. I just take care of my business and
Wait a
handle
minute.
what needs to be done. The fact that you keep getting
You can't take what you
trying to
can dish
do
out.
this coffee bean and you don't want to take no responsibility when you're in the wrong just proves to me that you still have a lot of growing up to do.
You can't dish out. No, no. If you can't take
Me,
what you dish it out.
hello?
Yeah, I can hear you, Master Better.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Like I said, I'll probably consider doing a what's up? Now I'll probably consider doing the StreamYard thing on a laptop so I can screen share stuff. I can't do it on a phone for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he said Coffee Bean in question said a lot of things. He did a stream to get back to what I was saying. He did a stream. Coffee Bean said something like they're making fun of me for like they're making fun of me, an autistic person, and then he said something like people were making fat jokes, and he's like acting like this is such the lowest of the low thing to do, making fun of your weight. Coffee Bean, aren't you the same guy who was making fun of other people? Like I don't remember exactly what you said, but you said like fat white boy.
Yeah, and he also calls people
I'm gonna
that
say
don't
this.
like his
I'm gonna say.
OC incels.
I'm gonna say this. I'm.
Hmm?
Greg. I'm gonna say this. No, Coffee
Mhm.
Bean. They're not making fun of you because of your autism. They're making fun of you because you're a bitch.
Now
Yeah,
people use autistic, and personally, I would not use autistic, and I would not even call you autistic right now in a very inflammatory way. What I will say is when people call you autistic, it's the same thing as when people call you retarded. They're calling you dumb. They're calling you
yep,
stupid. And that is something you should probably keep in mind.
Or stupid little bit.
As for your little fat joke, as far as you claiming that people make fun of your weight, you go and do the same thing, and on top of that, you act like people who don't like what you like can't get pussy. Coffee Bean, exactly how many boyfriends do you have or girlfriends do you have? You're not exactly a kind of individual who would get into relationships either. So I might as well suggest you don't talk about it or make fun of other people for not having quote unquote pussy. Which brings me to another thing he said. And you can look at Kiwi Farm, there's like a whole tweet of him saying that there's no such thing as a transphobic sin because it's in Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball, in a Dragon Ball world, there is this thing called Dragon Ball. Coffee Bean, I'm not sure if you're aware about that. You see those Dragon Balls, you can make a wish. You can make a wish and you can change your gender to whatever you want to change your gender to. So why are they transgenders? Are you going to say that they are same
Yeah.
musician? What's up, Alpha Sage Fighter? Are you going to say
And
that
then Super there.
you never thought about Dragon Ball?
And then Super there's Whis.
Yeah, but I don't like. There's a higher chance of him, the same musician, to know about Dragon Ball than
Yeah.
knowing about changes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, there's no such thing as a transgender saying simply because you wouldn't need to be transgender. You can just change your gender to whatever you want to. It's not us being transphobic, as you would like to say.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
not knowing
Yeah.
about the setting that you're supposed to be role playing at.
Yeah. Yeah. And here's another thing. It's not just changing it socially; it's also changing it biologically.
Which, and then there's like another thing because since we're talking about this transgender OC, let me draw attention to another spectacular individual, A. Fludar, because that individual was saying that why can't Saiyans be musicians? I mean, a lot of Saiyans have like citizenship, right? Well, no. Simply the issue is, and the only pass I'm giving you is that Dragon Ball Minus changed some stuff about Saiyans being good and whatever. The issue is Saiyans are a warrior race, and that is something you told for a long time. You told that for a long time. Even those people who cook meat, you have a very good idea that these might be warriors too, although one with very low power level. It's something that is brought upon these Saiyans have in their nature to fight. Even Broly, a
Look
pure-blooded Saiyan who doesn't want to fight, learned to enjoy fighting when he fought Goku. He was having fun, as
look.
shown by him smiling. So a Saiyan who
Again,
completely
it's
rejects.
not that he burned to love the fight. It's more that he couldn't fight his instincts. In the Saiyans' instinct, they gotta fight.
Yeah, but basically,
And that's what
yeah, I get you. But there's no such thing as a Saiyan musician, non-fighting Saiyan. And you can go, well, why can't there be? Simply because that goes against the very thing you told about the Saiyan. Even
Oh yeah,
characters like Goku.
and I got to point out one other thing that's a big plot hole about him being a good about being saying being a good saying.
Hmm?
Minus manga, it
Yeah.
stated that only Bardock and Gine and their family were the good saints. In fact, it was stated
True.
that Bardock changed because he married Gine, who was the only pure blood, pure good saint.
Which is
So
kind
I
of
don't know
a
where they get this.
which is kind of annoying.
I
But
mean, to be perfectly honest, and he's might get angry with me about this, but I clearly don't care. I honestly believe that you haven't watched the original Dragon Ball at all. I do believe you just decided to watch either Dragon Ball Z Kai and then go straight to Super.
which, yeah, and there's another thing you brought up, Jay, because this goes because and look, I'm not going to waste too much time on his Dragon Ball Z take, but I feel like I need to draw emphasis to some of them because he acts like, and this might upset, not upset, but anger a lot of people here. You two gentlemen. So Coffee Bean said, Super Gohan is better than Teen Gohan and Future Gohan. And you know why? Because this Gohan, Super Gohan, is actually living his life and he doesn't want to fight anymore, which is something he wanted. He gets to do things he wants, so by extension, this character is better than the much cooler version of Gohan that is the Super Saiyan 2 Gohan in Cell Saga and Future Gohan. Now, I want to explain this because Coffee Bean's issue with people not liking the way Gohan is being treated in Super and also in GT was that Gohan was like people took an issue with Gohan not really being a fighter. Coffee Bean was like, oh, at least Gohan gets to live a life he wants to, which is like a very which is what is giving a lot, which in my opinion is giving these writers, whoever is writing Dragon Ball, this excuse that Gohan, like, it's giving these people excuses to not include Gohan. You, I'm not to not go off on a tangent here. Gohan, you can like, it would make a lot of sense for Gohan to protect his father who is nearly dying and is always find himself in death's door. You can't, and it would. I mean, since Coffee Bean thinks Goku is such a good father to Gohan, why you're basically asking for Gohan to be a bad son because he's living a family life while Goku always or whenever he's facing someone finds himself at death's door. Why shouldn't he help Goku? Another thing, and this like from a storytelling perspective, it goes with a lot of characters like Spider-Man. It goes with a lot of characters like Batman. Just because Gohan doesn't, just because Gohan wants to live a peaceful life and wants to be with his family is not really an excuse. It's bad writing. It's just a way to write someone off. What's up, Otaku? You can join the stream. I can give you the link. But simply put, to go back to what I was saying, the Gohan should be fighting simply because he has people to protect now. And it's much more compelling to see him trying to find a balance between his warrior life and his family life than, what do you say, just being completely written off because he doesn't want to fight anymore. You can add a lot of conflict within his character. You can make his character far more interesting if he actually chooses to be involved. But by him getting involved, there's a lot of consequences. Basically, a conflict between his between his Saiyan nature and his human nature, which is far more interesting than just being completely written off. And in fact, how many like if that is such a good thing, why don't we see a lot of Gohan's peaceful moment?
In fact, a masturbator in the manga, Gohan basically just denounced his own Saiyan heritage.
He renounced his faith heritage, and by doing so, when his family was close to death, by when Moro invaded planet Earth, you can even argue he was holding back because he wasn't going Super Saiyan or
Yep.
whatever. And now there's this thing, and this is like a kind of a very stupid thing, but it goes to show the kind of level of plot hole in this story. Gohan can transform into a Super Saiyan on top of his ultimate form. Why doesn't he do it? Because he wants to renounce his Saiyan heritage, even though his even though by doing so, by not giving it his all, his family could possibly be in danger, including his father, including his mother, including his daughter and his wife, and all of his friends.
I
But
mean,
again, this is a
go ahead.
Dragon Ball topic. Coffee Bean. The point I'm making is Coffee Bean
Wing
doesn't
announced
see
it was Wing.
the opposing point of view, and he's just allowing bad writing to take place. It is apologies point of view for Gohan. Why can't Gohan be cool? Why can't he be a family man on
Like
top of
like
being?
uh, like masturbate like masturbate. Here's the thing: the whole I don't need Super Saiyan. I'm gonna fight you as a human. Would be good. Would be a powerful thing if the human wouldn't go on.
Critical Geek, do you want to add something?
Yeah, I mean, to be perfectly honest, and I know like this was we were talking about Dragon Ball. I had no problem with it, but I'm just gonna be honest with this right now. I believe this individual has no knowledge into the Dragon Ball franchise at all. You know, Clearly, how I see this right now is just like once again, I do believe that you did watched Dragon Ball Z Kai, and then went straight to Super, and then saw the movies. You probably didn't even bother with the original DBZ at all,
Which
or
brings
the
me to another.
original Dragon Ball.
Like I'm gonna be honest, I'm sorry.
Let
I was
Master Beta
gonna say
finish.
like I'm gonna be honest, I did like that development when at first time I actually thought about it.
Yeah.
But what I
Sorry.
was going to say to end my take on like my argument about this Dragon Ball, the whole Gohan argument, various other arguments he put,
Mm.
is like a very piss poor take on his like this is like one of his very piss poor takes on Dragon Ball, and he was attacking the Dragon Ball community for being either fake fans or new fans. And I want to say, since he likes to call out people for being fake fans, Coffee Bean, you the same individual who said the anime couldn't return because they're waiting for the manga to release 30 chapters. Now understand this. Do Dragon Ball does Dragon Ball Super anime ever needed the manga to go ahead of it? Because all they needed was Toriyama script, right?
Also, I would like to call him out for that right now. You do realize Dragon Ball Z Battle of the Gods came out before Dragon Ball Super, and on top of that, Dragon Ball Super anime came out before the manga. Shows how much you know when it comes to Dragon Ball.
They don't need the anime. The anime doesn't need the manga to release like what 30 chapters before it gets released. In fact, there's going to be a movie, and you have no reason to believe that it's not going to take place after the current arc of the manga. And the another ridiculous claim you made is that you want to call people new fans. Coffee Bean, you're one of those people. You don't seem to get the whole thing about the Saiyans. You don't even know you don't even know just why the super anime doesn't need the super manga. In fact, I would even argue, and this is another thing he said, you want the super anime to make the same mistake instead of just looking at the manga. Coffee Bean, even when the anime was ahead of the manga, the anime did a lot of things much better. In fact, they did a tournament of power better than they did in the manga. Now you can make excuses of them being rushed and whatever, but again, you can only choose the final product. The Goku Black arc was even worse. Not worse, but equally as bad as the Tournament of Power manga arc. But again, not to go on off on a like little Dragon
I
Ball debate.
hey
This,
hey
hmm,
Masturbator. When it comes
yeah,
to Goku Black Art, I think it was handled better in the manga.
the anime or
One,
the anime.
we didn't get Trunks' stupid bullshit transformation that came out of nowhere.
Yeah, but
And
they
a lot of
didn't like.
things did actually make, and a lot of things did was consistent with what was going on in the story in the manga.
I I I I had this conversation with you before. Yeah, Trunks wasn't getting gold because he did jack off to do anything with it. Trunks wasn't doing pretty much nothing instead of healing people. And this is like his story, basically, and he was not doing anything. And I'm not even like saying pull those bullshit power ups from Trunks' ass. What I'm just arguing is you can give Trunks all those power ups, but at least have him train for it. Goku and Vegeta, whenever they get a new power up, they train for it. So you can give Trunks this new little power he has, just in train for that power instead of just getting it out of his ass. And I think the way they treat Trunks is good. Even
Like,
though it makes a
like
lot
I
of
get the
sense,
bit where it's like
still good.
Trunks' story.
Yeah, one thing I also wanted to add to this topic, what Coffee Bean says is also you mentioned about the new Space Jam, Space Jam: A New Legacy, on saying how the movie is trash and garbage. First of all, I want to get into it real quick. I'm just gonna say this: the Space Jam movies are not meant to be taken seriously. They're just fun popcorn commercial cameo flicks. and you should know that. But wait, clearly I forget because you're a fucking idiot.
You are. Now, this brings me to another topic. Coffee Bean is more concerned with what happens behind the scene to judge his movie than what is actually the final product, and Space Jam 2 is one of them. Now, he went from defending Lola Bunny redesign to to just completely shitting on that movie simply because one voice actor, got kind of betrayed. Now, understand, I'm not going to act like this is not wrong. It is wrong, but judge the product for what it is, a product, instead of what's going on behind the making of the product. You can say a lot of crap about, what do you call it? I'll give you an example. Evangelion's director, something he called him something. He was licensing, he was asking for animators to take part in his movie for something, and he's not going to pay them, he's just going to give them credit. That's all he was going to do. For all their hard work, they're not even getting paid. So does all of the work he created bad? Or here's another thing, MAPA. Currently, MAPA has this history of overworking people to death. If you look at their MAPA's convention or their press conference, you can see the Attack on Titan's director state. If you look at his eyes, they're swollen. He's being really overworked. So does that mean like whatever anime MAPA makes should like be shitted on? Seriously, like ask yourself, should their work be shitted on because of what's going between the scenes? You can take an issue with MAPA and how they handle things, but just because there's an issue with how they overwork people to death doesn't mean you go and shit on their work. And Coffee Bean is one of those people who would really shit on Jujutsu Kaisen or the upcoming Chainsaw Man simply because MAPA has a history of overworking people to death.
Oh, he would.
And now we've already talked about this in Wolf's stream. You can check that out. I'll probably post the link of his podcast in the description. See, Coffee Bean, the thing is, you have a huge boner for Zack Snyder. You think that whatever Zack Snyder does is completely right. The way he handles Superman and Batman, oh, we just couldn't get his masterpiece. There's Otaku, yeah, you're right. Japan has a issue. It could be not like any anime made by Japan. But to what I was going to say, you have this huge boner for Zack Snyder, and you're the same individual who wanted Blade to be directed by Zack Snyder, and now this is really upsetting. You gave this movie a 10 out of 10, but then you're saying like Amber Heard was like the worst part of this movie. In fact, you're in so much in love with Zack Snyder is that you post his music, the Hans Zimmer music, I think, on your Dragon Ball videos. You gotta tone it down a bit. You want to take issue with other people fanboying way too much over Zack Snyder. You're one of those people. You go and attack anyone who doesn't like Zack Snyder take on Batman or Zack Snyder's take on Superman, and your argument is these people don't get it. You want people to watch a director's cut of Batman v Superman, a movie that was already horrible in the first place. You want us to waste even more time watching an even longer version of it. And lastly, this is a point I was forgetting, but I'll let you talk after I say it. But um, you're shitting on, and this is like, you're going to shit on the Flash movie the Flashpoint movie. Now, I get the issue here. The issue is they're doing this Flashpoint thing way too early. But my counter argument is you haven't seen this movie, and like you can like yeah, there's something to not like about this movie. Coffee Bean, your issue is they're they're erasing your precious Zack Snyder world. And the thing is, buddy, you're judging a movie before it even comes out. You're already shitting on the Flash movie just because they're erasing your Zack Snyder verse, which, in my opinion, really should be erased. Wait for the movie to come. I'm pretty sure if that movie comes out, you're either going to love it simply because you think the movie is good, or you're going to hate it not because of anything related to the movie, but what it's going to do to your precious Snyderverse. And that's my like I've seen your coffee review on Zack Snyder's Justice League, and all your review is shitting on Warner Brothers. You're not saying anything about the movie, the sound in the movie, the certain direction in the movie with like these various slow motions. I I will just not I will take 2 minutes of your time. But if I want to review a Zack Snyder movie, I will talk about their constant slow motion, the very annoying Wonder Woman background music every time she shows her face, and I can talk about the way they handle Flash and Cyborg, and I can praise that. I can talk about how they handle Steppenwolf much better than the original one, but I will not shit on Warner Brothers. I will not give that movie 10 out of 10 and make my justify it by saying why Warner Brothers didn't make that, why they did this and whatever. Like I said, and this drives home what I was saying. Coffee Bean, your entire
Wait, wait,
issue.
wait, 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 wait. He joked on Warner. He went at the Warner Brothers for the animated movies, which are done
Not
much
animated.
better. Huh?
Not animated. He was in his quote unquote review of Zack Snyder's Justice League. That entire review of him was shitting on Warner Brothers for not going with that one
Yeah, but
instead
the
of the
only
one.
thing that Warner Brothers did that was the only thing Warner Brothers did at DC was the animated. Oh, you're talking about the you talking about the old Batman movies, the old live action Batman movies.
I mean, to be perfectly honest, I do believe Coffee Bean
The
has
Burton
never read
movies.
comic books is in his entire life, and I honestly think, and this is how I really see it, that you decided to jump on the DC hype when the Zack Snyder
Wait, hold up a
Justice League
second.
came out.
Wait, hold up a second. Isn't the Snyder verse part of Warner Brothers? Because Warner Brothers owns DC.
Yeah, they do. You know that,
So
right?
he's basic. So he so he ripped on the Warner Brothers when it's
But
Basically, Metallic. This is how it really goes. Okay, let me be honest with you, Coffee Bean,
does he
and I
ever
really, I
research before
really,
he
I
opens?
really don't care if you do get angry with me or you try to take it and twist it, dude. I do believe you're not a fan of comic books at all, and you have no knowledge into DC or Marvel. You just watch these films, and that's perfectly fine. You just came on the hype train when Zack Snyder announced his Justice League for that version, and you decided
Does
to
he
talk about it
ever?
and shit on Warner
Does
Brothers.
he ever research before he opens his damn mouth?
And let me make it perfectly clear. I love the Snyder cut of Justice League. I'm a huge fan of Marvel and DC and comics and anime, all that shit.
I
So
had fun.
I'm not.
that's it.
I'm not.
I had fun watching that movie too. But I'm
I'm
not
not a
going to
big
say it's a master. And if I'm going to call it a masterpiece, I would probably justify that 10 out of 10 rating in my review instead of spending not most, all of my review on shitting on Warner Brothers.
Yeah, that's something I clearly don't
Yeah,
understand
and that's the thing. That's the
because
thing that
the thing is with this is you don't
hey,
understand it and you clearly
masturbate.
don't
That's the thing
get
I
it
find funny.
of how the movie industry really is. Yes, they can be slithering and slimy. I'm not going to disagree with that. However, if you have no knowledge at all, do your research.
Masturbate.
Mentallic, what were you saying?
Hey, masturbate. That's the funny thing. He's ripping on the Snyder. No. He's praising the Snyderverse, but ripping on Warner Brothers, even though the Snyderverse is a part of Warner Brothers.
No, like, no, you think that Warner Brothers is an evil corporate company who just want to take advantage of poor people like Ray Fisher and whatever. They're holding back Zack Snyder down, and
No.
this
It was
like,
a comment he said about. Hang on, it was a comment he said about why can't Warner Brothers make this kind of movie? They kind of did.
I mean, if you actually would really do your research, you would clearly understand like what is the most popular thing when it comes to Warner Brothers and DC Comics live action superhero movies. It's Batman and Robin. I mean, Batman and Superman. Because that's always been like that. Look at how much the Christopher
Yeah.
Reeve Superman is so popular to this day, and people still love it. The same with the '89 Michael Keaton Batman movie. If you clearly think Warner Brothers has and you think that like shitting on these franchises, then do your research because I'm sorry, this stuff has been popular for a long time.
Oh yeah.
Batman the animated series in
Here, masturbate.
1992 was the most
Masturbate.
popular
Masturbate.
thing on TV
So
on
masturbate. Let me get
Fox
this straight.
25.
He was bitching. He's bitching about Warner Brothers practices. Now here's the thing: Warner Brothers does do some shady shit. I'm not gonna deny that. But
Hollywood
here's
does
but you
shady
wanna know something
shit.
else? But you wanna know something else? If you're gonna bitch about it, why are you buying the movies?
Because dude, the reason why he bitches about it is just so like people would agree with his opinions. And automatically, Coffee Bean, you have dude, you're just
No,
not right in this at all.
I
And the thing you're
just
not understanding, you
find
have
it.
no knowledge into this at all when it comes to this stuff.
I
You
just find
clearly
it
don't.
so.
And I'm sorry to say that.
actually want to bring another thing in question because one of the issues with Zack Snyder's thing is that how they handle Batman and Superman, right? But we focus on Batman because that has a lot to do with
Yeah.
the his argument. You mentioned Michael Keaton Batman. Now he thinks, well, Michael Keaton's Batman killed people too. Firstly, yes, and nobody's going to like Michael Keaton's Batman portrayal of Batman is not wrong. But now hear me out before anyone gets angry. Why the reason people appreciate Michael Keaton's Batman
Point thing
is
is,
because
people hate it too.
Hold on, Matak. Let Masturbator speak.
the reason why people like Michael Keaton's
Okay.
Batman is because at the time before that, the original opinion of Batman was he's a guy who dances with his whole bat repellent or whatever, bat shark repellent or something. And what Michael Keaton did is completely alters Batman image to what it is now, a very serious, brooding superhero. Yes,
Yeah,
that
and
killed, but at the time nobody knew. So
yeah,
when
what
people
just
see that
straight that.
they'll see Batman doesn't kill people, but the whole issue that the whole reason why people like Michael Keaton's Batman is firstly that iconic song of Batman. The second is Michael Keaton made popularize the whole dark nature of Batman.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, that's what actually really made Batman very popular before, Batman the Animated Series, which came out in 1992. Michael Keaton came back and, Tim Burton to make the movie of Batman Returns. Some people didn't like that, completely understand why they did. It was to me, it was a good film. I don't care what anyone says.
But
But I find it very hypocritical, Coffee Bean, because you do realize there is older Batman comics where Batman has a gun and he did kill somebody.
But like this is like another thing he'll bring up. But I'll let Mentallic speak out and say this. Firstly, people don't like Michael Keaton's Batman because of how he was portrayed. People like Michael Keaton's Batman simply because how influential he was in the story of Batman and his public perception. Secondly, you said Batman killed people in the old golden age kind of comic books, but the whole thing is that is not Batman, that is some shadow knockoff. The actual, better, and the contemporary Batman is a character who doesn't kill, and he will go to various lengths just to not kill the criminal. And instead of like, nah, fuck it, I'm kill. He there are times where he doesn't want to kill people, and he has done nothing to kill people, and they're dying. Batman would go out of his way to save them, and that and that whole conflict of Batman makes his entire story interesting because it's not about whether Batman is going to what we call overcome the odds. The whole issue is the whole thing that makes his stories interesting is whether Batman is going to overcome the odds by sticking to his code. When guys like Batman, non-killing Batman exist, guys like Red Hood are actually interesting because they're pretty much Batman that uses guns or Flashpoint Batman.
Yeah.
So Ben Affleck's Batman should not kill. And I don't want to shit on Ben Affleck's Batman. I think he's a pretty good Batman. It's just the way he's written that is horrible. But sorry, Mentalic, what were you saying? You were not speaking for a long time.
about oh, you mean about Batman?
Hmm?
Yeah, even now people have a problem with Batman. Even now there are people fans that have a problem. Even though they like the movie, they still call out the Batman killing thing in the Michael Keaton films.
Yeah, he was killing people
Though
in
it's
Michael
more
Keaton.
though it's more likely played for jokes than anything.
Yeah, as I was saying, Michael Keaton's Batman is not a
Especially
perfect Batman. People like him for
huh?
various other reasons than his portrayal.
Yeah,
People like him for how influential he was in the perception of Batman. People like his awesome costume. People like his
yeah,
Batmobile and the song,
yeah,
that iconic Batman song.
yeah, yeah. Ironically, I think the Nolan films did is like a better portrayal of Batman,
Christopher
but
Nolan's
that's
Batman.
just me. Yeah,
Like
I
I said,
think the Nolan films did probably the best portrayal of Batman, live action wise.
and there are issues with that version of Batman too
But
because he
that's
was
just me.
willing to die when Batman doesn't do that. But that's
Huh?
forgivable because he got everything else about Batman right.
I mean, to be
Yeah,
perfectly honest, the best Batman to me is Kevin Conroy, that plays Batman from the animated series.
Yeah, that's like a perfect voice for Batman. Yeah,
yeah, we're talking live. Yeah, critical. We're talking live action now.
No, I know.
I know for a fact that
There's a whole bunch of them for
look,
live action. It's just I choose that one,
look.
even though it's not
actually,
live action.
we
I'm
were
gonna say
talking
this.
about
I'm gonna say this.
Batman. The best
I'm gonna say
Batman is
this.
the animated series.
Just because I call this Batman the worst does not mean he's the worst Bruce Wayne. But I
You
think
really
George
think that's the
Clooney's
worst Batman
Batman
George
is the
Clooney
worst.
is? George Clooney. Let's remember those nightmares of Batman and
Now that's what I
Robin.
was saying. Just because I think he's the worst Batman does not mean I think he's the worst Bruce Wayne. Because George Clooney can't play Bruce Wayne. But
Well,
Batman,
yeah,
no.
yeah, that is true. I mean, even like with Batman Forever, Val Kilmer, he literally tried. I thought Crystal Donald was pretty good as Robin, to honestly tell the truth. Honestly, that's how I really think, dude. I don't believe you are a real fan of these franchises at all. And maybe you can check them out for yourself because, there's a lot of good, comic book films that you should see for yourself and maybe you won't hate on it. I mean, clearly, this is the same dude that thinks Michael Bay's TMNT franchise is the best. Yeah, you keep thinking that.
Uh, Devil King Bale said, Rebel, that makes no sense. They're talking about the live action. Why are you bringing up the cartoon? Well, good point, but what we're just
That's a
saying,
good
like,
question.
Batman, the Batman in the animated series. But yeah, we're talking about the live action one, but overall, best Batman is Batman in the animated series. But who in live action, who do you think is the best incarnation of Batman? Geek?
It's gonna be a tough one. Mostly, I'm gonna go with Michael Keaton.
Okay.
Hate all you like.
I will not go out of my way to call Michael Keaton like the
I
best.
still go with the Nolan movies.
Hold on.
Look, don't get me wrong. I like Keaton's version of Batman, but I just like the Nolan ones better.
Yeah, but it's what actually really made Batman very popular. And don't get
Yeah,
me wrong, you do have that campy Batman, but if you look at it that way with, Adam West, like, yeah, that kind of wasn't like the Batman we were hoping for. Tim Burton actually took it in the next direction and decided, like, we want this type of Batman into into the film. And that's what we got. And don't get me wrong, yeah, I love Christopher Nolan's Batman. They're fucking amazing, and including The Dark Knight with Keith Ledger, as the Joker. Now, let me be honest with you on that. Who do you think is better for that, Keith Ledger or Jack
No, that's not.
Nicholson?
Oh, yeah, that is. I thought you were talking about Dark Knight Rises. Oh yeah, in Dark Knight Rises, it's the only one that got Bane right. It's the only adaptation I know that got Bane right.
Yeah, pretty much. As much as I gotta say, like, I do appreciate Jack Nicholson's Joker, I'm gonna give it to Keith Ledger.
Yeah. Hey. I mean, I know some people who like. I know some people who like Batman Forever.
Yeah,
And
there's
no. I mean Robin. I mean Batman and Robin. I confused the two.
Yeah, there's a huge rumor going around saying that we're going to get a Batman Forever cut on HBO Max.
I'm gonna say this: Batman Forever wasn't a bad movie. I mean, because I remember watching it when I was younger.
Mm,
I found it hilarious.
yeah, I can agree with that.
But
Joe Schumacher tried to do
it's not
something new with it.
it's not it's not awful movie like Batman and Robin. Like
No, but
it's
you
not
you
an
can
awful
tell what
movie
they were
like
trying to
Batman
do
and
with
Robin,
it.
but it's not. But it's also not a good movie.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't like Batman and Robin or nothing like that in particular. What they were also trying to do is kind of make it a little bit like Batman the animated series.
I mean, they feel horribly, but yeah.
Jim Carrey did good as the Riddler.
No, okay. Jim Carrey was a good Riddler. Jim Carrey was a good Riddler. Like Riddler was my favorite part of the movie. Two Face, however,
Tommy Lee Jones is Two-Face. Terrible.
the thing is, he did it on purpose.
Technically, no. Hold on. Wait. So you think I'm wrong about that? That in Batman Forever, like Tommy Lee Jones is actually a good Two-Face. Devil King.
No, but I think we're going a bit of on a tangent here. Simply put, to get back to the main topic, Coffee Bean. And before that, I will say I will not. I will not say Michael Keaton like the best Batman. I will say that I appreciate his opinion, like his influence on Batman, and it cannot
Mm.
never. But to Coffee Bean, you would point to the golden age of Batman killing people. You would point to Michael Keaton's version of Batman killing people and some of the Batman that kills people. But they are not really exactly Batman. They're they are they're not portraying that character right too. If this is what you think. The reason people like Michael Keaton's Batman is not what you think they like him for. They just like what he did for Batman's image. But that's another case of you not understanding why people like or dislike something and you just want to shit on other people. And to no, I think you're wrong about making Batman popular. So basically, Coffee Bean. And this is another thing, Coffee Bean, if you are watching the stream, I know you're not watching the stream. Why would you? But if you good profile picture, Otaku. Welcome to the stream. So there's another thing. I know you're probably not going to watch the stream because the only ones who are watching are people from my server. But and even then there were like two people. But Coffee Bean, if you by chance watch the stream, I'll let you know. If you want a conversation, I'm not going to exactly hide from you. If you want to have a conversation, I'll have a conversation with you. But that is if you have the cojones to do so. But I don't I very much doubt you're going to do it because you like to hear yourself talk. I will say this as one of the guys I listen to, Jim Cornette, says he likes the smell of his own fart. He is devil killed, but that doesn't mean I will not like bring up how I'm open for conversation, even if that thing in question has like a very like less likely chance to happen, simply for the reason you stated. If you excuse me, I'll be back in like 10 minutes. Like you people can talk.
All right. Um,
So mostly, I say this to you right now, dude. I honestly believe you have no knowledge into this stuff at all. But I think Coffee Bean, what you can possibly do is maybe become a better content creator if you decide to do that. And, stop blaming people for your mistakes because you're just doing it to yourself. That's just how I really see it, you know?
Yeah. Sorry, can you hear me? Hello? I'm so stupid. I accidentally
Yeah, I
talked
can
while
hear
I'm
you.
okay. So basically, since you mentioned coffee beans,
hello?
can you hear me?
Yeah, I
Yeah, I
can
can
hear
hear
you.
you.
Yeah, I'm having
So
technical.
since we're going to talk Coffee Beans channel, like I said, a lot of Coffee Beans videos are just him posting back matches music. Then he's playing Xenoverse, a game that should be dead. Since like when the Fighter Z game. But this one thing that this is like his passion project, something he's planning on releasing around Christmas. Oh boy, is his so-called like where he's getting his OT, where he's doing web series sort of ways and other people's OT.
Are we talking about his Legion of History shit?
Yeah,
Oh God.
we haven't exactly what his region of history is bringing. Besides the fact, and
Yeah.
you have no idea what it's going to be about. It's just a bunch of people saying over a very loud music to a point you don't even understand what that person is saying. There is no video of like a plot of what's going to happen in a plot of the whole conflict. It's just him talking about how diverse his character is going to be and how he's going to bring a new vision to Dragon Ball without any mention of the plot and whatsoever.
Yeah, in all honesty, I just hate this whole OC thing.
Hmm.
I don't get their obsession with this whole OC shit and why they take it so seriously to the point where you have a beef and someone steals your OC. I think it's ridiculous.
Well, I mean, the OC thing is never going away, to be perfectly honest. Get ready for Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3, which will possibly maybe about next year.
Well, if they want to do a Xenoverse 3, like you understand this. After Xenoverse 1 came Xenoverse 2. There was no other game before that. If they wanted to do a Xenoverse 3, they would have done that a long time ago instead of announcing Fighters or Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. I don't think it's ever going to come, and I don't think it needs to come because that, like us mentioned, is a shitty game. It's probably the worst fan base ever. And unlike someone else, they would say like, you can't judge a fan base based on two or three people. Well, negative people speak loud to the majority. So I hate to bust your bubble, but Xenoverse 2 has a louder voice of obnoxious assholes instead of actually cool people. I'm pretty sure there are a majority of people in any fan base. But can you judge Rick and Morty fan base to be good because majority of them are chill people? Or would you rather focus on the louder ones, the ones who set an image and do
Yeah,
stupid shit?
they give communities a bad name.
When you focus on, what should I say, Undertale fans, for example, a majority of those people are pretty chill. So, but would you focus on those people or would you focus on the kind of people who actually try to kill someone by implanting needles inside a cookie?
Right.
It doesn't happen that way. And that's one thing I want to draw attention to. Xenoverse should not, Xenoverse does not deserve a third sequel. I think this game needs to die. I think this whole franchise needs to.
Well, to be perfectly honest, I hate to be real with it because a lot of folks have been buying a lot of the DLC packs, and there's going to be more of it coming out, possibly. I do believe Xenover 3 will be coming out maybe in about 2 years from now. The only reason why they're not releasing it now is because a lot of people don't have the new consoles and they're difficult to get at this time.
Hmm.
I
Well, like
don't think that it should ever be released. I think they should focus on other games.
I don't think there's ever going to be a Xenoverse 3, and I don't think there should be a Xenoverse 3. Get these OC people out of this. They don't deserve any sequel to Xenoverse 2. I'm sorry, but your whole shit ends here. You can expect more DLCs, but never expect a part 3. But going back to Coffee Bean, this individual was creating a web series out of these OCs. He wants to do a Dragon Ball series or with a Dragon Ball as a base, and he isn't going to do anything that makes Dragon Ball Dragon Ball. So, and you know what? Do there are you can do new takes with Dragon Ball. For example, there are two fan-made series, Dragon Ball Deliverance and Dragon Ball Epsilon. Dragon Ball Epsilon is like a much darker version of Dragon Ball, where people who die stay dead, but they still get the and there's more emphasis on the martial arts aspect of Dragon Ball. But they still kept the core of Dragon Ball right, a show about the fighting series with a bunch of aliens invading, and it's up to Goku and friends to stop them. In Dragon Ball Deliverance, it's a story where these fighters, the Z fighters, would have to take care of their own mess instead of relying on Goku. They're doing different takes with Dragon Ball, but they still keep the core of what makes Dragon Ball correct. Coffee Bean, you're pretty much ignoring what makes Dragon Ball, but you want to bring your own diversity and your so-called new side to Dragon Ball. It's a shitty side based on your trailer. With your
I mean,
same
I
message,
get what he's trying. I get what he's trying to do, but the way he's doing it just isn't good.
yeah. And don't take it as a discouragement. I'm just saying what you're doing is stupid. And maybe you should do better. If this is something you planned on for 5 years or years at least, then, and if it's going to bomb, it's going to be on you. Not that people don't get your vision, it's just that you suck. But again, we're not going to, I have to like end this now. Do you have any concluding thoughts?
Uh, not really.
Yeah, I have nothing else to say.
All right, then I'll just say this. Coffee Bean, if you want to talk, I can always, you can always comment. I'll always link my Discord, and you can talk. But until then, thank you all for watching. Now, this is like my first stream, and I'll probably consider doing a stream of my own, and I will not focus too much on drama. But I will say this: this is my first stream. I'll probably find a way to do the whole screen share thing, so I can show evidence to support my claim. But if you want evidence on Coffee Bean stupidity, you can always look at TV Farm. And if you have any criticisms, I'm always willing to listen. This is my first stream, and I'm planning on improving this. So yeah, let me know. If you like my stream, subscribe and leave a like. And I'll. This is Masturbator with my friend Otaku and Critical Geek. Also, thank you, Mentallic, for joining for as long as you did. I'll see you later.